Hi Year 4 and welcome back to Lesson 1 in Week 5. I hope you guys are keeping safe and enjoying the activities from home. In today's lesson we are going to be looking at the human ear. Before we begin, I would like you to talk to your partner. Remember, you can talk to your teddy bear or somebody in your house if they're not too busy. Where does sound travel faster? Is it through solid, liquid or gas, and why? That's right, if you said solids, you are correct. Sounds travel fastest through solids. This is because the molecules in a solid medium are much closer together than those in a liquid or gas, which allows the sound waves to travel more quickly through it. Let's take a look at the video about the human ear.
Class, to the fascinating subject of today's lesson, the human ear. This big thing on the side of the head is called the outer ear. It's shaped a bit like a funnel, which helps it collect sound waves and send them down into the middle ear. Now then, who's small enough to get down there? Sammy, be a sport and buzz down into the ear. You should now be deep in the ear canal. As you can see, there's lots of gloopy earwax down there. Earwax traps any dirt that might get inside the ear and contains chemicals to fight off infections. Carry on down, Sammy. All the way at the back of the ear canal is the eardrum. This is actually a very sensitive piece of tightly stretched skin. When sound waves come into contact with it, it vibrates. The louder the sound, the bigger the vibration! The vibrations move three tiny bones on the other side of the drum and make their way into a small spiral tube where special hearing receptors turn them into signals. The signals get sent up through a nerve to the brain, where the brain makes sense of them as sounds. So, as you can see, there's a lot more to the human ear than meets the eye. Mind the eardrum on your way out, Sammy.
So the big question that you should be able to answer, or at least talk about, is how do we hear? Well, let's find out a little bit more. So, have a feel of your ear. Now, your ear passes all the way through. Your ear is made up of three parts. The outer, which you can see, the middle, which you can't see, and the inner, which is way more inside of your face. So, the three parts are outer, middle, and inner. Let's take a look at the diagram of the human ear. You can see the first part of the ear is called the pinna. You can feel your pinna. The pinna is made of cartilage, which is covered by the skin. It funnels sound into the ear canal. Now, cartilage is a firm tissue, but it is softer and much more flexible than bone, but it feels a bit like bone if you have a feel of your ear. So that's called the pinna. Now, the ear canal, you can't quite reach it, but if you put your finger in your ear, you almost are at the beginning of your ear canal. It is a short tube that transmits sound from the pinna to the eardrum. So that's in which part of the ear, before I tell you? Is it in the outer, the middle, or the inner? That's right, it's in the middle part of the ear. As we move further into the ear, we get to the eardrum. Do you think the eardrum is in the outer, the middle, or the inner part of the ear? I'll give you a few seconds to have a think. That's right, it's in the middle part of the ear, almost to the inner part. The eardrum is a thin, tough layer of tissue at the end of the auditory canal. Sound waves make the eardrum vibrate. Then we get to the ear bones. The ear bones are in the inner part of the ear. The ear bones, or the ossicles, are three tiny bones that amplify, so make the sound louder, and transmit the vibrations from the eardrum to the cochlea. Now, the cochlea is in the inner part of the ear. It is an organ filled with lots of fluid. Receptor cells change vibrations in the fluid into electrical impulses. The auditory nerve contains sensory neurons that send information to the brain for processing. And finally, we have the eustachian tube. The eustachian tube connects the middle ear to the nasal cavity. It regulates the pressure within the ear. So often we hear about the ears, the nose, and the throat. They are the connected parts. Let's have a look at the order in which these things work in. So, number one, the sound waves are collected by the earlobe or the pinna. Then the waves travel along the ear canal. The waves make the eardrum vibrate. The small bones amplify the vibrations. The cochlea turns these into electrical signals, and the auditory nerve takes the signals to the brain, and therefore we can hear the sounds. Now if you want to, you can replay the video to just go through the different parts of the ear, and then you can have a go at labelling the different parts of the ear using this activity sheet. You can have a go at drawing it, or just simply writing down the parts of the ear which you can see. Your challenge for today's task is to see if you can write down the function of each part of the ear in hearing sound. So using those keywords from today's lesson, what do they do and in what order do they work in? You might want to write it down, you might want to draw some symbols, you might want to do it as a flowchart. It's totally up to you. Thank you for listening. Remember to keep safe, enjoy your activities from home, and don't forget to send them to Year 4 teachers' email or put them onto Tapestry. Take care.